everyone. Super excited to welcome you back to Connect with Christina because my BFF is here, Jeanie Teyechea with Opportunity to Own.
Hi, BFF. How are you?
You're right here in real life.
I am.
It's crazy because we're both so busy. And so I'm treasuring this moment that we're actually here together.
Hands down.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Recap a little bit on our past. So you used to be my boss. We used to work at Wasatch. We used to run properties together. You were my regional. I was your favorite community manager.
Oh, yes, hands down. By far, you were my favorite.
And then my daughter Leilani, when she was 4, she told you she loved you.
Oh my gosh.
I was
what a precious
also
moment.
just a baby myself. And then from there, I had 2 more baby girls. And those 2 were Wasatch babies. And they are now 17, 20, and 25. That's pretty crazy to say that out loud.
It's crazy.
Because you held both kids in the hospital.
I sure did. I have pictures. I have proof.
Yes. And so when did you leave us to start Opportunity to Own?
So 2012, I left Wasatch to go to Cal-Am. I spent 3 years there. In 2015, I got my broker's license, and I started Opportunity to Own Real Estate then.
And I said when you left, I'm coming.
Never looked back. I know, I was reeling you out. I'm like, okay, you got to go. You got to leave. But you did all that on your own.
Yes. And now here we are.
I know. It's insane.
So be brave, guys. Be brave.
Yes, do it. Don't sit back and think about it. Just dive in.
Yes.
Make it happen.
And the old saying, if your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. BFF, I brought you out here specifically to talk about this lawsuit that's I mean, it's been a while now, but I feel like, as usual, we want to use this platform to get the message out to the public and help them understand and navigate this. So can you talk about that for me?
Yeah, absolutely. So last year's been, August, it was a year that NAR was sued.
NAR, what does it stand
so
for?
National Realtor Association.
Okay.
So they were sued by some high-powered attorneys from one seller who thought maybe he was not understanding how seller commissions were paid. All it took was one. And then the attorneys saw a massive deep pockets in NAR. And so they created this class action lawsuit. And as soon as that happened, it just put a panic in the real estate industry. Everybody that I knew of was like, real estate's over. I need to go find a day job.
And that's not true, guys. Real estate is never.
It's never going to be over. Yeah.
Just got to navigate.
You do. And as long as you do what's right, you're ethical, and you share your information with your buyers and your sellers, you're just going to keep going. Your clients are going to love you for that.
And I interrupted you, and I apologize, but you were saying that the reaction to this thing was...
So yeah, very negative. All of the brokers and the realtors were, they were freaked out. They were like, okay, we're not going to be able to do this. Buyers can't pay our commissions. And so what that did is it led the news to misrepresent the lawsuit as well. And then all of the people talking on social media, they're all out there saying it's horrible. Like, buyers are going to have to pay our commissions now, and there's no way that they're going to be able to afford that, which is true to that aspect, but it's not true that nothing has changed. It has always been, commission has always been negotiable. It's not like, we hide it. It's never been a secret. Anytime that you're dealing with a seller, you ask your seller what they want to pay. You tell them, you have to sell yourself and tell them your worth. And if a seller says, absolutely, I'll pay you 6%, you can charge them 10%. If a seller's willing to pay it and they know about it and they know how you're going to share it for both sides, because a lot of the general public don't realize, like me as a broker, if I charge, say, 6%, I'm not taking home 6%. I'm sharing that with a buyer broker, whoever brings the buyer for the house that I have listed. So if it's 3% and 3%, we're splitting 6%. So we end up getting 3%. And so what the lawsuit stated was that nobody knew that. Nobody knew. The sellers didn't know that they were paying 6%, and they were, splitting it through, 3 and 3. But it's always been that way. A seller can say, I don't want to pay 6%. I want to pay 5%. or I want to pay 10%, and it's really what's been negotiable from the beginning of time.
So is it overall a good thing, a bad thing?
It overall has been a great thing because it's definitely it's clarity, absolutely. Okay. And I think it was probably needed because now a conversation that I have with my buyers, I'm primarily a buyer broker. I work with buyers way more than I do sellers. And the conversation I have with them right up front is that, right now it's a little, nerve-wracking with this NAR lawsuit. A lot of the buyers think that they're going to have to pay my commission. That is not the case. I'm going to work hard and I'm going to do my job to get the seller, who's always paid the commissions. I'm going to work hard to make that happen. And so we don't lock them into any long-term contracts. We don't, twist our arm and say, you might end up having to pay us. We make them feel comfortable that I'm going to do my job as a broker and an agent to find them the house they want and get paid from the seller. Because they can't afford it. They can't afford to add my fees on top of the already very expensive fees that they have to bring to the table to close a deal.
So what other strong message do you want to share to people out there other than understanding,
Stop listening to social media. Stop listening to the news. If you've got somebody who's a broker or a realtor, ask them their opinion, ask them what they know. Because you get it from a real estate agent or a broker who knows, and we did a lot of research, we had to do training, there's new forms we had to get used to. It's just more work, but it is the clarity that everybody needed. And so just ask somebody about it. Stop spreading the negativity that real estate, agents are going away, brokerages are going away, we're not going to be here, because we add tremendous value to a buyer and a seller throughout the transaction.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but real estate's always been solid.
It has been. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, not sorry.
That's like telling an attorney that they're just going to let somebody else do their work, or they're just going to let, anybody do it. It's just like, we've been, even though they say there's not a lot of training that goes into this, there is a lot of training and continuing education you have to do to keep your license valid.
To that point, I think that's why I really take our role in Call Christina Now, the role that we get to take part in, because people usually just hire lawyers based on who can spend the most on advertising money,
right? And
not always necessarily the best fit for them. And our entire job is to say, who are you? What's your backstory? You will fit in this, with this firm, because this firm will accommodate you this way. You might be younger, hard-headed college student. You're never going to show up for your appointments even when you're in pain. Or maybe you're an elderly person who speaks Spanish and you need more caring, hands-on people. And we get to make those, we get to guide them.
Yeah,
and we get
absolutely.
to make those, help make those choices for them. So
yes.
I like that
Let's talk about that, shall we? I think we should.
Oh, yeah? You're going to reverse it on me, BFF?
I am going to do the interviewing now. I'll take over this podcast.
But before I even entertain that, I want to say congratulations, because I'm very proud of you. You've come such a long way, and now you have, I don't even know how many, you've always had crazy amount of cars, but now the properties. But also just your newest project, which is in Payson?
Pine, Arizona.
It started with a P. I was close.
Does, yes. Yeah.
But really, congratulations.
It's been a journey for sure, but a solid one. So making smart choices and looking for opportunity, and sometimes you just have to dream big and then go after it. And sometimes I look back and shake my head and wonder how it all happened, but yeah, I'm excited. To, not that I'm taking my life up there permanently, because I'm still
you're
here.
Not allowed to do that.
Heck no, you're here. My family's here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just as much here as there.
How long were you in property management in total?
23 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did 18 years and then 6 years on the vendor side.
Yeah.
So quite a long time.
Absolutely.
And I think we share the same, sentiment that we definitely would not be here today without property management. So shout out to all our property management
it was
people.
definitely a platform, the knowledge, the information. I thank Wasatch every day for what they did for me, because they were the ones who took a chance on me as a little housekeeper and then moved me up, to leasing and management and VP of operations on multi-million-dollar
I love that
company.
story.
And it's a beautiful story for sure. But, without them and their continuous training and education and keeping us going, I probably wouldn't be here today.
Yeah,
So.
I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Deloy Hansen.
I know, and Randy. We were just talking about Randy yesterday. His mustache. But yeah,
Shout
if they
out to
only
the
knew.
brothers.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
great family for sure.
Okay, I dragged it so you wouldn't ask me questions.
Well, you can drag it all you want, but we've got some time. So I definitely.
Do we, Justin? I don't think so.
I think we've
Fine,
got-
maybe you have a question.
We have 5 minutes. So
All right.
yes. Well, first of all, I want to make sure that everybody understands that how hard you work. You, my BFF, are. I can't even. Sometimes I think about what you've done, and I can't even fathom how far you've come in so little time. You should be extremely proud of yourself. You work so hard. And
We're so gross. We don't call each other by our names. BFF.
I know. I say Christina, and I'm like,
Are
wait,
you
what?
mad? Are you mad?
Yeah, you connect me with somebody. You're like, this is Jeanie. But then you go, my BFF. I'm like, okay, that'll work. Yeah. But no, you should be incredibly proud of yourself, because there's not too many people who could make a multi-million-dollar company out of their name and their person. And you did it. And you're amazing. I have people always are like, how does Christina do it? I'm like, that's a secret. No,
Does she sleep?
I'm like, she never shuts off, for one, constantly going, for two, and just your ethics, your hard work, and your drive to make sure you're taking care of people, because this is what it's all about. You're taking care of people. You want to make sure that they find solutions to their problems. So I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you, and I'm learning to give myself grace.
You should.
Because I do know that's important, but I'm so used to being on the other end of that, because I like to cheer people on. But thank you. I will take it.
You're the cheerleader, but you need to.
It's definitely hard work, but definitely worth it. Nothing that's worth it is easy.
Well, for sure. And look at where you get to go. You get to go and play and have fun and vacation. But yeah, you're still working. You're supposed to be on vacation, and you're like taking accident calls. And
so, well, recently I was just sharing, I have enjoyed not wearing heels. Mm-hmm. I've enjoyed wearing my sweatpants and hiding in my baseball cap and my shades. I didn't think I would enjoy that, but yeah, I enjoy just like being in these clothes for a little while, because I've been wearing heels and business clothes since I was 20 years old. And let's not ask how old I am today, but 25. I'm sure I'll get my juice back. I'm just enjoying this. Like, okay, like I've been going to holiday. Yeah, I've been going to holiday parties, and I'm like, people are coming up to me, and it's like, I like this casual Christina.
I know. Yes.
But I really am actually enjoying this. Just like, throw on a baseball cap. Let's go.
I know. Put your sunglasses on. Yes. And it suits you, so that's good. Yeah.
But thank you, BFF.
Yes, of course. We don't get to say that to each other often. I mean, even though we're best friends, we don't always get to have this type of a conversation with each other.
Yes, because we're always go.
Yeah, or complimenting someone else.
And shout out to Dr. Roddy with BackFit, actually, because I'll never forget last year at prom, Dolce event. Shout out Christian Carvajal. Mm-hmm. When the event was going on, the team and I are making sure everything's going. People are happy. That's what matters to me. It's just people are talking, making new friends, really leaving like, okay, I stepped away from the family to come to this. I want to make it worth it. Like, I look at it that way, right? So I'm very detailed. Anyway, he comes up to me, brings me to the middle of the room, makes me turn around and says, Laguna, I want you to stop for a moment, and I want you to take a good look around. I want you to realize you did this.
See what you've done.
You made this. You are, you are the glue. And I mean, it's just from someone I respect and admire. I just, because I forget to stop and I forget to smell the roses.
Stop and breathe and look around and realize, wow.
So Dr. Roddy, thank you. Thank you for always believing in me. So that's a moment I will never forget.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
Thank you. What else you got for me, Miss? I'm gonna take over the podcast.
Well, I want to know what's next for Christina Laguna. I know you're going. I know you are just going crazy. You had a beautiful wedding that took a ton of time, and love Kevin, and I know things are going great for you. But now, what's next? What's next on your?
I do want to say thank you to my husband because he's amazing. So much more than just a husband. He's my best friend, my sounding board. He gets to play different parts in my life because I go to him for everything. We're so close. The kids love him, and I love that. Yes. I think we're just focusing on. He really is. He's just a beautiful soul, and he just has my back. I'm very fortunate. But yeah, we're just, I think, focused on keyword just happiness.
Yes.
We've worked very hard, and obviously you rent that, right? It's not like you stop, but enjoying traveling, and then with Leilani coming home.
I know.
Really, I'm excited for that because we get to, have she's very much an intricate part of the family, and I know when she's here, we'll have our new traditions and have family time and go to your house for barbecue.
Sunday dinner. Yes.
Things simple things, but things that really actually matter.
Yes.
As far as projects, there's always projects. For me, the events, I know some people just go crazy thinking about how daunting it is, but I know it's a lot of work. But I thrive in chaos.
You thrive for that. You totally do. and you always have.
And it's because I want to impact people's lives, and that if this team could be a small part of their success, of the connections they make, even if it's just a small. I met my partner at Laguna's event, or I, met my wife. I mean, I don't know, but for me, it's worth it because it's a magical short period where I get to create and curate this experience for people where they leave that was worth it.
Absolutely.
My book, I put that off because I've been so busy.
I was going to ask you if you're making any progress on your book.
I've swapped it so many times, but it's there, it's ready. I just wanna get it right. Also focusing a lot on my heart right now. I have a CT scan scheduled. Thank you, Dr. Hunter. So just being proactive with that, putting my health first, obviously. Taking my own advice for others in that regard. Definitely not going to slow down traveling.
No, as you should not.
But with your help, John Bradley's help, definitely going to get into the real estate space in 2025. Yes. Yeah. So I'm excited.
We have to get our own apartment complex.
We said that because what were our goals? We said we wanted to learn how to speak Spanish. We kind of did that.
Duolingoing it right now.
We kind of did that. We said we wanted to be in the back of the bus, and we are.
You're there. I'm not on the back of the bus, but you're there.
But girl. You are in that way too.
In that aspect,
exactly. And then the last piece was just to own our own apartment. So that's our goal. And
together.
Together.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We're gonna make that happen.
Yeah,
for sure.
Together. And I think, I can go on and on, but I think I have a really great team.
You're very fortunate. You do. They're loyal and committed.
Yeah, and I want to pour into them and make sure that, I'm affording them the opportunity to better themselves also. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely a project for me there.
A podcast?
A podcast, obviously. Shout out to my producer, Justin. If you know, you know. Mm-hmm. My baby's about to graduate high school. So the big things ahead, because I said when I got divorced, same house, same school, house, same school, no matter how hard, no matter how far, they come first. They didn't choose this. So that's that. So we'll be moving with your help. Mm-hmm. We'll find something closer.
Yep.
and Layla, our beautiful middle one. They're all beautiful, obviously.
Oh, yes.
They're I always have to say they're half Mexican, half Filipino, with a dash of Italian. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Caramel mocha skin.
Yes. And then she's in medical school now. She's gonna take her time to figure out where she's gonna take that. Nursing, are you gonna take it further? I told all of them, just as long as they're healthy, happy, and find something that sets their soul on fire, I'm good with that. Leilani has some big things ahead. I can't talk about that right now, but I'm very excited for her.
Yes.
To give you my final answer for what's next for 2025, I want to learn how to say no. No,
Yes.
I'm not a bank. I'm not charity. I do want to help as much as I can, but I need to learn boundaries, and I just need to learn to say no.
And that's hard with your big fat heart, because you do want to help everybody. So yes, you need to learn.
And
You're getting there.
And I think too, like, and I know people can relate to this. Like, that's why they say, like, if you let people borrow money, no, you're not going to get it back, right? But I
Light
try
it
to
on fire.
set the boundaries of, no, actually, I am going to get it back.
Yeah.
But I think just, if you're good and communicative, trying to get the money from me, please don't make me be a collector.
Right.
Because it's very uncomfortable to say, hey, why are you not answering me? There's no communication. Like, I bailed you out, can you make sure you talk to me, right? I'm very proud of myself for accomplishing and I say this in the most humble way, I finally got to the point, and it took so long, to where I don't actually care what someone thinks of me. And I don't want that to come across, arrogant. I definitely care to be a good person. What I'm saying is, whether you like me or you don't like me, I don't care, because I like me. And as long as I know that I'm being a good person, I'm not hurting anyone, and I'm trying to be the best person I can be in the way that I treat others, I really don't care what you think of me. And it took this long, and it's so freeing to not worry about that. That's your business, right? I mean, there's a quote we posted, and it said something like, some people will never like you or do business with you because it's you. But there are people who will do business with you just because it's you. So just find your tribe. You don't need a lot. Nope. You just need the loyal ones. We're always going to be kind to others. But yeah, and it's just so freeing. So for those people who care about, what other people think about you, please spend your energy on something more productive. And again, key is, you're being a good person, and that's all that matters. So that's what's in store for me in 2025.
Nice. And more time. More BFF time.
Yes. More quality time. More vacations.
Time with family.
Yes.
Now that your girls are all going to be here.
Yes.
So excited.
Road trip, because I've been living in airplanes.
I know.
I think I was more gone than here in 2024. But I want to do the thing that you do, like the coast, right?
Yes, Oregon coast.
Yeah.
Well, you got to do that with us, because it's spectacular.
And then we're gonna take Justin to Puerto Rico so he can meet his future ex-wife.
What? What the?
Let me correct that. Future ex-wife. Let's get that right, guys. You cannot edit this part.
Right?
You're not editing this part, okay?
Not bad.
You're like, what?
I tell Leilani to comb her teeth and brush her hair. Okay, guys, that's it for this episode with my BFF. You'll see her again. Thank you for tuning in to Connect with Christina. Bye.